All right, good morning, everybody. It is June 9th, Tuesday. So we have the algorithm has switched. We got permission to go short, and volume is agreeing with what we want to do. So we're going to jump in this thing short as soon as this candle closes. We have our little S up here in our level 2, so we can short it. And there's also tools that you can use with Dash Trader to check to see if shorts are available. See what happens here. I'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, so far we're going to be able to jump into this thing in about 30 seconds with about a 30 cent per share risk. So we can check that real quick before we even get into our trade. We know what our risk is, 25, 34. So more than that, 40 cent risk. 70 to 17, yeah, 40, roughly 45 cent risk. So we can double check that before we jump in. So we're going to jump in here short in 7 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're confirming and we're in. All right, so we're going to mark it up. Almost forgot to put my stop in. So 70.09. We're short, so we're buying back. Okay, now I'm going to move my next stop into 69.21, our first target. And we're short, so we're going to look at the level 2. And as soon as we get past 69.21 on the level 2, we'll be able to clear our order and then hit our buy button. So our ideal entry was 69.65. We didn't get in until, for whatever reason, just didn't get filled until 69.57. So that's one thing with real trading, you know. Sometimes you don't get the exact number, so you don't get as much money, or you take a bigger loss. So yeah, just something to note. Okay, we're looking for 21. We're 28 now in the ask over here. Spread's pretty tight, so that's pretty nice. Okay, so here we are, 21. So get through 21, and then we'll clear this and put our stop in. I could take my trade off the table right now. It would be a good trade. Come on, get through there. So if this closes here in the next 40 seconds, I may have to just put my stop in a few pennies below or above wherever it's at, just in case it backs back up. Sometimes when it hits these levels, it'll just rebound pretty strong. So, all right, so now we're through. I'm gonna hit buy. Oh, okay, so we got our order in. All right, backs up. We're out. All right, great. So we got our 1-to-1 on this stock. We'll be looking for another one. So let's see what we ended up doing here. So 57, so 30. Like 36 cents roughly, so pretty sweet. 36 cents per share, $28 on this account size. So with the shares that we bought. All right, moving on to the next. So one thing with the simple switch strategy is I can build my portfolio to trade whatever the time of day is that I want to trade. So this particular stock is something I pretty much just trade in the morning. So really high percentage rate in the morning. The win rate percentage goes down after 12 o'clock. So I don't really want to trade this after 12 o'clock. So I know that my trading day, if I have more stock, this stock and more in my portfolio, could just be 9:30 to 12. That could be my schedule every day, because that's the best times to trade these stocks. I have other stocks though, because I want to be able to trade all day long, that hit mostly in the afternoon. And I say I want to trade all day long. I want to be able to trade in the morning, or if I go out in the morning and I come in like at 2, I want to be able to have stuff to trade. So I have other stocks in my portfolio that after 2 o'clock, that's their prime. Like one of them has not had a loser yet after 2 o'clock. So I only trade that thing after 2 o'clock. So, and then I have some that hit, best between 12 and 2. So I have abilities throughout the day to be able to come in, have a high probability win rate, and make money without having to be here all day. So I literally could just trade a few hours a day if I wanted to. All right, we'll be back a little bit and see if something else starts to develop. Okay, so before I call it a day, I'm going to change my format here a little bit, and also want to give out some little bit of information that is helpful for me. So the first thing is, when you're looking at other traders trade on YouTube, and you're, especially if you're a new trader and you're looking at it and you're like, for example, Ross over at Warrior Trading, who's awesome at momentum trading, and you'll look at him and be like, wow, I made, $5,000 today or $4,000 today. I wish I could make $4,000. And you get stuck in your head that, you're watching these other traders and you're looking at how much money they're making and you're thinking about the dollar amount, but don't look at the dollar amount. Look at the price per share. Did they make 10 cents per share today? Did they make 20 cents per share today? And then as your account grows and you have more money and you can take more share size, then you're going to make more money. But if you want to look at how well you're doing as a trader, don't look at the dollar amount. Look at how many pennies per share that you're able to make in your account, and then that's going to translate over as your share size goes up. So Ross taking 10,000 shares, if he has a 10-cent move, yeah, he's making $1,000. You could have made 20-cent move and only made $200 because you didn't have as many shares. But once your account grows, so will your income. So I'm going to stop showing my P&L on here as well, and I'm just going to talk about pennies per share. So, because that's really all that matters. It's not about how much money, dollar amount, other traders that you're watching are making. It is about what's their success rate, win-loss ratio wise, what are they doing, and how many pennies per share did they make that day. So on the success rate thing, so there's a lot of different classes out there, and stock gurus and people that are selling alert services and picks and all that stuff. Nothing against any of those. Some of them are complete garbage and some of them are pretty good, but how do you weed out the difference? So I'll give you one little tip. I'm going to do a whole video on weeding out the right schools for yourself and the right services and things like that, because really it's an individual thing. So what works for you may not work for the next person. So I'm going to do a whole thing on that to help traders better determine if they are looking into that kind of stuff. But one of the questions to ask is, what is the success rate? So you're going to hear some of these people out there, actually all of them, including myself, that will tell you what their success rate is. So a bunch of them will say they have a 70% success rate. But what does that mean? And that's what you need to follow up with before you invest your money or your time into them. What does that mean? So I know there's a bunch of them out there that will say they have a 70% success rate, but that's based on trading every stock that you could possibly trade that day within their strategy. So if that's 30 stocks, and sometimes it could be 25 stocks, 30 stocks, if it's 30 stocks that you have to trade and they're all hitting around the same time, for one, can your account accommodate that? Especially if the stocks are $20, $100, $50, and you got to trade every one of them. Can you afford to do that? And then can you even physically do that? If they're all hitting around the same time, can you get into all of those? So and then if you can't, then what is the success rate? Not very good usually, because now you have to get lucky, right? You have to choose out of that list of 30. If you can only afford to buy 2 or 3 or 5, you have to pick the 5 that are winners, hopefully. You might pick all 5 that are losers. Do that 4 or 5 days that week, and you'll never, I shouldn't say never, it'll be really hard to ever recover that account. Like, you'll be bleeding out slowly until your account is gone. So something to think about if you're looking at other services or stock gurus and classes and trading systems and plans and all that stuff is, what is the success rate and what is it based on? And does that fit your lifestyle and your ability to be able to accommodate that? Can you take 20 trades in a day with your account size if they're all at the same time? So something to think about. Some other classes out there, their strategy might only have 3 or 4 stocks that you get to trade per day. Different stocks every day, but it's 3 or 4. Maybe that's a little more manageable for the account size you're thinking about getting started with. For me, I just trade the same names every day, so I don't worry about what shows up on a scanner or anything like that. Because sometimes on scanners you might have 2 stocks that pop up, or you might have 20 stocks that pop up. So, and then you got to pick the right ones if you can only afford to buy one or two. So I built everything around trading the same stock every day. So, and then in my portfolio, I have 5 stocks that I trade. So right now, and out of those 5, I have them broken up. So I have, here, let me show you actually. Okay, so I have this trade log that has everything. It has my swing trade logs in here. It has my day trading logs in here. It has my aggressive calculators, my conservative trading calculators, stock specific, like custom designed calculators just for trading. So, and then I also have like my strategy builder pages in here. All this stuff is in my log. So this is a log that I have more information about it actually on my YouTube channel. And then over at 2020daytrader.com, you can get more information on it if you wanted to get one, or you can make your own. It's just an Excel document with all this stuff put into it. So, and then also my students receive this. So in here, the piece I really want to show you is what I call my stock list. So I have my stock here, and then I put a bunch of different information on it. This is what I'm charging. So the reason why I don't show my stocks on YouTube, like the exact names that I'm trading, is because as part of my day trading course with a simple switch, if my students want, they can find their own stocks. I teach them how to do it, or they can purchase lists from me, or join like a membership that constantly gives them updated information all the time, and I basically do all the work for them. So here's one of those lists in my log that I trade with. So the way it works is for the win-loss ratio for my strategies, I trade the same name all the time. So again, I only trade a few stocks. So I break up my day. And I'm just showing this because maybe this will help you guys out when you're looking at your stocks, because maybe you actually have a winning thing that you're doing and you're just trading the wrong time of day for that setup or that stock. So something to look at, something to think about. So this particular stock right here. So if I trade this stock in the middle of the day, I'm at 50% win rate. End of the day, not a good win rate, and it doesn't even show up that often. So I would sit here all day long for a trade here. I mean, this is a lot of trading days to get nothing. But the morning is where all the action is with this stock, and that's why it's in my portfolio. So I can trade this between 9:30 and 12 is where all the action happens on this. And with that action, I have an 84% success rate. So, and then I also put it in here so I know what my average share is. So I'm averaging 7 cents per share right now in earnings when I play this. So, and then I put all this other data in here for me to look at: high price, low price, all this other stuff that helps me out, wins and losses, and stuff like that. So, and this is actually off. I have to update. I have to click a thing to update this. So it's not quite updated up there. So this is my focus right now. So once I back test these stocks, that's when I put all this stuff in. So when I back tested it, this is what we were looking at. And then once I start trading it, I just focus on what these numbers end up being. So is this getting better than my back test results, or is this worse than my back test results, and stuff like that. So anyway, so this stock, I'll only trade it in the morning. Okay, so then I have my next one here. So this one I'll only trade in the afternoon or end of day. End of day, this has had 100% win rate on it. I'm sure it's going to have losers. Every stock does, just hasn't had one yet. And then as long as I trade in this window, I'm at an 87% success rate. And then I put notes down here, like this may be hard to short depending on your broker, and then mostly for my students, because I check these out with a couple different brokers that I have signed up with, so I can kind of see what's going on with them. And some brokers, this might be a little bit hard to short on. So, and then again, after 12 p.m., I put all these little notes in there to help remind myself. So when I'm watching my monitors and I'm looking at my charts, and it's like this stock might show up and be like, oh, this, it's ready for a trade. And then I look at the time and what time of day can I trade that again? And I'll I already have this up, so I just click over to it. I'm like, no, it's in the afternoon. That win rate is not good in the afternoon, so I don't want to play with it there. But in the morning, this thing is awesome. And then I have my notes in here for, speed bump and all that stuff, time and short versus long. So like this is something I only short because long plays on it. The probability is not great. So something to think about too in your own trading is, with your strategy that you have, does it favor shorts? Does it favor long plays? Does it go both ways? Does it favor a particular, time of day? Is there something there that if you just is it a day of the week? You know, for some reason your strategy on Friday is just awesome, but on Monday it's terrible. So maybe you don't trade it on Monday, you know, and what does that do to your account if you decide to skip all those trades on Monday? So there might be some other thing there. You might have a winning strategy if you're not doing that well. It just might be one of these little variables. So I track all my trades so that I can easily go back and get that like bird's eye view and see if there's a variable there that can make me more successful. And then I share that with my students to make them more successful. So yes, like this one gives me 41 cents, and then over here we have nice. So I mark it red, you know, green for winning trades, and whether I trade it or not, I put it in here. So this way I can go back and look at it. Doesn't matter if I trade it or not. Like I didn't trade this. I don't trade this in the morning because it's going to be a loser probably. You know, it's like 50 something % success rate. That's, I guess you could still make money on that, but I don't want to trade it. I want this over here, you know, 100% in the middle of the day right now, which, you know, only 3 trades, easy to have 100%. That will definitely change as this goes on. But when I vetted this stock, it had an awesome success rate. So it fit all my criteria. I made it to the list. And now this is current trading and where we're at. And average right now is $1 per share is what I make on it. So yeah, and then, you know, that's another thing too, like cheaper stocks don't usually move as much as more expensive stocks do. So just a bunch of stuff to think about. And then when you look at, I look at this, I can see number of trades, and, you know, maybe I go back and I'm like, you know, maybe it's worth having the additional losses because the trade frequency would be so much higher, and in the end of the year I would actually make more money. So if I reduce my win rate from 87% to like 80%, because I'm taking these other trades, at the end of the year I'm actually making more money because my frequency goes up. So all these different things, it's easy if you're tracking your stuff, and, you know, for me I made this list so I can see the time of day and all that stuff, and then I can look at also day of the week if I want to when I have the dates, and see if there's some other variable there that can improve my success. So hope that helps. Just something I do. I'm going to try to start putting little tips out here on my YouTube channel of things that I do that help me be a more successful trader. All right, so I'll get back to the chart for the day. Okay, so for today, we are going to be finishing the day with, going over to my log real quick so I don't have to do the math in my head. We are finishing the day with 36 cents per share. So today we made 36 cents per share. We just traded our one stock. I'm going to head out and get some other stuff done, so I won't be trading my afternoon stocks. And yeah, we'll see if any of those hit at all today. But yeah, so then we'll try to be back a couple more days this week if we can. And yeah, we'll bring our trades to you. All right, everybody, have an awesome day. I'm also going to upload a separate video than this one, and it'll go on my swing trade playlist because I entered 2 swing trades this week as well. So, and that goes off a different algorithm for swing trading. All right, have an awesome day.